Hello, friends. A colleague recently wondered in an online article why Michael Jackson hasn't been cancelled like other celebrities. The question was asked in light of the recent Jackson biopic that's just been released. I haven't seen it, but from what I understand, it lionizes him while avoiding the unpleasant and morally troubling parts of his biography. Now, perhaps making a glowing biopic of an artist with a troubled personal life was inadvisable. But that's not what interests me. What interests me is the age-old story of how we put people on pedestals only to pull them down when they're revealed to be less than perfect. In an Oscar Wilde story, the statue of a happy prince was the pride of the city, until it lost all its fine gold leaf and sapphire eyes. Being no longer beautiful, the statue was pulled down and replaced with one of the mayor. A decade or so ago, a number of statues of Confederate generals and the like along Richmond, Virginia's Monument Avenue were taken down. There was a predictable hue and cry about their removal, even though they'd only gone up in the 1920s, to say nothing of being a deliberate attempt to glorify the so-called lost cause in the former Confederate capital. John A. Macdonald, Egerton Ryerson, Cecil Rhodes, Queen Victoria, Christopher Columbus. There's a long list of people who some folks think shouldn't have statues in the public square. And while I'm not saying debate about the appropriateness of some of these monuments isn't timely, I have to wonder why we never ask ourselves if putting up a statue of anyone is ever appropriate. After all, the second commandment says, "You shall make no graven images." But we have. We do. Everyone we put on pedestals or make statues of are the gods of our society. We worship their artistry, their accomplishments, their discoveries, their writing. Which means we also worship them until we see the ugly truth about them. Because gods aren't supposed to be ugly until we see they're just like us. Because gods aren't supposed to be like us. We often assume Jesus said he was the Son of God. He didn't. That's what others said about him. And when they realized what he was saying, they pulled him down, even as they lifted him up. I guess that's why ever since we've lifted up people who seem to be perfect, beautiful, virtuous. If only we'd have learned to lift up all people. Especially because God isn't above us, but within us and among us. He could have canceled us for not living up to his dreams. Instead, he called us and consecrated us to walk humbly with him. Not as gods, but as God's own.